What's up, guys? I'm doing my UFC Fight Night 166 predictions. Curtis Blades versus Junior Dos Santos. It's a pretty awesome fight night card. Honestly, it's pretty stacked in my opinion. There's a lot of really good fights on here. You got Gilbert Burns' brother on the card. You got Sarah McMahon. You got Arnold Allen. It was supposed to be Arnold Allen versus Josh Emmett, but I think it's Arnold Allen and Justin Lentz or something. What's the guy's name? Yeah, Nick Lentz. Nick Lentz. Yeah, Nick Lentz. It's awesome card. I love the card. Obviously, I do the main card predictions. And there's some really good fights on this card. Angela Hill's on the card too, which is always nice to see her. So starting off the card, we're gonna have Jamel Hill versus Darko Tuuk. I'm gonna go Jamal Hill. I saw him on the Contender Series. He's pretty good. I liked him. So I'm not that familiar with the other guy, but I'm going to go with my boy. Then you got Hannah Cifers versus Angela Hill. So Angela's coming off some, I think, losses, right? And then Hannah Cipher, I'm not that familiar with her. But, you never want to doubt somebody when they're coming off some losses. And because, they're super motivated. But it's almost become like... I've heard her talk about it in interviews, and she's kind of accepted, and that's good. You gotta accept losses, but it's like, man, like she needs to get a W. I'm gonna have to go with the. Oh man, I'm really just the fact that I'm not even familiar with Hannah Cifers. I'm just going with Hannah Cifers because Angela's lost so much, but Angela's my girl, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Angela Hill. And then next fight, we got a flyweight fight. You got Alex Perez versus Jordan Espinosa. Right? Is this a flyweight fight? Yeah, I guess it is. I'm gonna go Alex Perez, man. I've seen him fight a few times. He's pretty good. He's done a lot of good stuff at flyweight. Let me see where is he ranked. Let me see this. Yeah, like he's decent. He's a decent dude. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go Alex Perez. Yeah, I'm gonna go Alex Perez on that one. And now we got the two fights I'm really excited for. You got Rafael dos Anjos versus Michael Chiesa. It's at welterweight, obviously. Yeah, it's but it's not a. It's like Connor and Cowboys. Really, obviously these guys have fought at welterweight. They are true welterweights. They are competing at the welterweight class. But to me, it feels like a lightweight fight. And Michael Chiesa at lightweight was ranked number 7. He has wins over Ali Quinta. But did go on a 2-fight losing streak after that. Kind of lost to... He won the Ultimate Tough finale or whatever. He lost to Kevin Lee and Anthony Pettis back-to-back. But he got submitted to back-to-back. But obviously, the weight cut and all that stuff is what he talks about a lot. I don't want to say it was an excuse, but it's the reason why he lost. And since his 2 welterweight fights, he's looked amazing. What he did to Diego Sanchez. I know this is Diego Sanchez. I know these are like older fighters and he's a younger fighter, but Diego was beating a lot of young lions. And for him to dominate Diego Sanchez, a guy that beat, I think, Alex Craig and Mickey Gall, 2 young kids that are trying to work. And I think both have decent jiu-jitsu backgrounds, more Mickey Gall than Craig. But I think him destroying Diego Sanchez was super impressive. And then him beating Carlos Condit, obviously, Carlos isn't the same, or isn't in the same era that he used to be in. This is a different era as a younger fighter. But for him, Michael Chiesa to do that, it's crazy. But here's my thing. I think it's a really big jump. Rafael dos Anjos, I know he's lost a few. He lost to Leon Edwards, but I think he's lost to guys that are going to fight for titles. He's lost to, in my opinion, championship level fighters, Colby Covington, Kumar Usman, Leon Edwards, he's lost to those kind of guys. Like Leon Edwards is gonna be fighting Tyron Woodley. That's like, I'm so hyped for that fucking fight. But look at what he did to Kevin Lee. Look what he did to Robbie Lawler. Look what he did to Neil Magny. You know, he still can compete at a high level. You know, he's no joke. I was really surprised Michael Chiesa got this fight, and I look at this as a former champion at lightweight, and I look at a guy that's a former, 7th ranked fighter at lightweight, never cracked the top 5. He was kind of like a fringe guy. He was a big prospect, but he's kind of back at the same position. He's fighting a top 5 guy. For Chiesa, and Dos Anjos is not trash at Brazilian. He's really, really good. He's underrated. Obviously, he likes to strike. Chiesa isn't the best striker. It's like I don't want to say Chiesa is one-dimensional, because Chiesa's ability to shorten distance and get to his opponent it's really, really good. But Dos Anjos has a lot of experience, bro. It's really hard for me to go with Chiesa. Basically, in this fight, Chiesa, and it's a 3-round fight, so Chiesa could get away with a decision victory over Dos Anjos due to time. But with this fight, I think with Chiesa, I think the biggest proving ground is, can Chiesa get the takedown, or not necessarily get the takedown, get the clinch work and get him down to the ground. For Dos Anjos is, can he set a pace and really work on his sprawls, and not, like, for me, I think Dos Anjos' real issues is he's a lot low kick heavy when he fights these wrestlers. I think Dos Anjos, when he fought Kevin Lee, fought a really great fight. Obviously, he kept it at a really, like, kicking range and used a lot of his head kicks. You know, he has really underrated head kicks, and he can box a lot better than Michael Chiesa. I just see someone that's, for me, when it comes down to this fight, is I see someone that's way more well-rounded than the other. I think Dos Anjos doesn't suck at grappling. I think he's just fought better wrestlers that can mix it up. And he's just been edged out. Just, for me, I look at like this as the Kevin Lee fight. I think Dos Anjos is going to beat Chiesa. I'm going with Dos Anjos, but I can see Chiesa getting the victory. You know, obviously, we're going to see a bigger Chiesa. You know, there shouldn't be no excuses. I don't want to hear nothing about the weight cut. I don't want to hear nothing about anything. He's at welterweight. This is a former lightweight, too. That's at welterweight. So I'm going Dos Anjos, but yeah, it's just, there's levels to this shit. I think that's what it is. For the main event, this is actually hard for me to pick. I know a lot of people are kind of going Curtis Blades on this, but Junior, man, he's proven that he can compete still with these young kids. He beat Taito Avasa. He beat Ivanov. I don't know if Ivanov is young, but he beat Derek Lewis. I don't know if even Derek Lewis is young, but still, those 3 guys he did beat. Before I think he lost to Francis Ngannou. They both have lost to Francis Ngannou, by the way. He showed that it's not that he has a lot of experience on these guys. I think that's what it comes down to. What he's able to do in the octagon is it's like, you look at the Derek Lewis fight, man. He really attacked that body. His boxing is really underrated. I think for Junior is just the takedown defense. He really needs to work on not letting Curtis get those takedowns that he wants. Curtis has arguably the best ground and pound in the division. He is the best wrestler in the division by default, because I feel like Ivanov is a grappler, but Ivanov is more like, he's more Sambo, I think, like Sambo. He's not like a wrestler like Curtis. But yeah, Curtis is the best grappler by default in the division. For Junior to win this fight, we've never seen Curtis in the 4th and 5th rounds, so Junior needs to bring it there. Junior has been there. Junior needs to use his pace, his footwork, and he needs to sprawl. He needs to stop those takedowns. And honestly, I think it's not that he just needs to work Curtis. He needs to really push the pace on him. He needs to challenge that. I don't feel like Curtis has been challenged in that area. For Curtis to win this fight, he just needs to put the pressure on Junior. He needs to put him against the cage, and we're gonna learn a lot about Curtis Blades. You know, Curtis, he's only lost to Francis Ngannou. He's got knocked out twice by the guy, but in his other fights, he's either dominated in that fact, like Justin Willis. Now it's Justin Willis, but Justin was the striker in the matchup, and Curtis was able to kind of like almost own him. He owned him in the wrestling aspect of the game, and then he used a lot of his wrestling feints to trick Justin, and he dropped Justin Willis with a really good shot. And then the other guy, I forgot the guy's name. He fought on the 242 Khabib Poirier card. He just it was a lot of ground and pound, bro. It was brutal, man. He does have the best. He does have razor blades for elbows. Man, he can open people up. Like, I'll never forget what he did to Alistair Overeem. But I'm going to go with Junior, man. I think Junior, he can work this kid, man. He can really work this kid. Curtis still has, I feel like, has a ways to go. He still has a lot to prove. And Curtis can probably prove me wrong. But I'm going to go Junior Dos Santos. Junior's my boy. I love his boxing. I love the guy. He's obviously had some tough times, but when he's on, and he's still one of the best in the world. So it's gonna be a good fight, and I'm really interested in this fight. So yeah, peace out. Obviously today's by the way, let me just say this. Today's Conor and Cowboy. I'm super amped for it. I hope you guys check out the fight. It's awesome. It's early in the fucking morning, but still, I'm so amped for this. It's Saturday. Hope you guys watch that show. See y'all.